Orang yang memiliki jiwa korsa yang tinggi tentunya.
Dalam bertugas, anggota Manggala Agni dibekali dengan janji suci yang tertuang dalam Panca Bakti Manggala Agni. Ikhlas bekerja untuk negeri, kompak, tangguh, dan berani.
Jika sudah musim kebakaran, ini kebakarannya sampai berbulan-bulan. Jadi rasa hati, batin, dan nurani saya terpanggil untuk menjadi orang yang bisa membantu.
Saya waktu itu memimpin rekan-rekan pemadaman di Desa Purun selama 3 minggu. Melakukan pemadaman dari pagi sampai malam. Dan kami harus menginap di dalam hutan waktu itu.
Kita membantu untuk memadamkan, itu sudah menjadi amal ibadah untuk kita, pertama untuk diri kita sendiri. Satu lagi kita mendapatkan nama juga dari masyarakat.
Sejak dibentuk Departemen Kehutanan tanggal 13 September tahun 2002, Manggala Agni terus tumbuh dan berkembang menjadi organisasi pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan yang dapat diandalkan. Pada awal dibentuk, Manggala Agni ada 21 daerah operasi atau DAOPS di 5 provinsi. Saat ini, telah menjadi 37 DAOPS di bawah Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup dan Kehutanan yang tersebar di 11 provinsi rawan kebakaran hutan dan lahan.
Waktu itu dibentuk sebenarnya itu hanya bertanggung jawab di dalam kawasan konservasi, belum punya markas.
Lambang Manggala Agni bergambar 4 bujur sangkar merah yang di dalamnya terdapat gambar maskot Sipongi dan nyala api. Di bawahnya, teks Manggala Agni berwarna hijau. Sipongi diambil dari satwa endemik Indonesia, Pongo pygmaeus atau orangutan.
Nama Manggala Agni sendiri berasal dari bahasa Sanskerta. Manggala artinya panglima dan Agni artinya adalah api. Sehingga kalau digabungkan, Manggala Agni artinya panglima api.
Upaya menjaga motivasi, soliditas tim, dan produktivitas kerja dibangun dalam suasana kebersamaan.
Selagi masih ada titik asap, kita tidak pernah tinggalkan di lapangan.
Profesionalitas Manggala Agni dalam bekerja didukung dengan sarana dan prasarana, seragam kerja yang dilengkapi dengan alat pelindung diri, seperangkat peralatan pemadam kebakaran, kendaraan bermotor, dan mobil pemadam kebakaran. Di bengkel kerja, alat-alat pemadam selalu dicek fungsinya dan diperbaiki jika ada kerusakan. Kendaraan bermotor dan mobil pemadam juga selalu diperiksa kelaikannya. Kebugaran tubuh selalu anggota Manggala Agni jaga dengan rutin melakukan olahraga. Anggota Manggala Agni siap diterjunkan di garda depan dalam pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Kegiatan pemantauan titik panas atau hotspot dilakukan anggota Manggala Agni melalui Karhutla Monitoring System web sipongi.menlhk.go.id. Didukung dengan CCTV thermal yang dilengkapi menara di kantor DAOPS Manggala Agni. Dalam rangka diseminasi informasi untuk kesiapsiagaan kebakaran hutan dan lahan, Manggala Agni menyiapkan papan sistem peringkat bahaya kebakaran di wilayahnya.
Jangan pun telepon, dapat dari WA aja, dia dah langsung bergerak, ayo kita turun. Saling kontak-kontak, sedikit mantap lah kalau mengalami dengan gerakan dengan sama alatnya, bagus lah.
Terjun ke lapangan, anggota Manggala Agni melakukan patroli untuk pencegahan kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Berdasarkan data pantauan satelit, tim patroli melakukan ground check langsung keberadaan hotspot atau titik panas. Tim patroli rutin mengecek tinggi muka air untuk memantau kelembaban lahan gambut dan monitoring kondisi hutan dan lahan secara menyeluruh di tingkat tapak. Masyarakat, terutama di daerah rawan, diminta tidak melakukan aktivitas yang bisa memicu kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Untuk mendukung pengembangan upaya pembukaan lahan tanpa bakar melalui kegiatan mengolah pupuk kompos dan cuka kayu.
Kami berharap Manggala Agni bisa berkarya lebih dengan penambahan personil, dengan penambahan kemampuan intelektual.
Pasukan Manggala Agni selalu berlatih untuk meningkatkan kemampuan dan keterampilan teknis pemadaman di lapangan. Terus berjuang agar langit tetap biru tanpa kabut asap. Jayalah Manggala Agni, sang pejuang langit biru.
Siapa kita?
Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to everyone who attend this online webinar today. I hope everyone in safe and healthy conditions. Welcome to the third webinar series on sharing best practices from forest fire brigades in ASEAN, organized by Ministry of Environment and Forestry and ITTO. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I am Mr. Albar, who will moderate this session for the next 2 hours. Before we begin, I would like to inform the winner of the quiz from the second webinar series as displayed on the screens. Please, Pak Nur, you can share the screen for the last winner. There will also be a door prize for 5 base questions for Indonesian participants. The prize in form of electronic money, we know like a GoPay or OVO, valued 100,000 rupiah, not US dollars. The winners will be announced at the end of this webinar. Okay, maybe later we can share the screen for the last webinar winner. Before we begin this webinar, I would like to request all of participants to open your camera for group photo. The operator, Mas Nur, Mbak Novi, Mas Heri, please save all pages screens for documentation. Please, all participants, give your best smiles so we can record your smile in our documentations. Okay, thank you, the organizer. Just for our information, until now, we have 217 participants. Dear colleagues and friends, we will begin this webinar now, but firstly, we will watch this another video. Is there any other video from organizer to be shown in this screen? Okay, I think we will already have one video at the first beginning of this opening sessions. Southeast Asia is a part of the world that's been suffering from a high rate of deforestation and forest degradations. The main triggering factors are mainly the agricultural expansion using slash and burn technique, land preparation using fire, prior to plantation, and land encroachment using fires. Under the climate change scenarios in the future and fire management practices today, our tropical rainforests are more susceptible to fire. Land and forest fire play an important role in most ASEAN countries, including Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. In Indonesia itself, peat fire contributed to 43% of emission from forest and other land use sector. As frontliner in the field, fire brigade have crucial role in suppressing the fire. As far as I know, this is the first webinar to share knowledge and experiences of forest fire brigades among ASEAN countries. This webinar fully conducted in English, but we have interpreter from English to Bahasa, vice versa, to assist participants. You can see the icon CC on the lower right part of your Zoom application to choose interpreter. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into through link Zoom, which will be shared by organizer in chat box in your Zoom control panel. I'll bring them up during the presentation, and we'll also have time for questions at the end. This webinar also broadcasting in YouTube via ITTO. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this webinar, we will have 3 distinguished speakers. The first one is Ms. Fitria Srihandayani from Manggala Agni Indonesia Forest and Fire Brigades. The second one is Dr. Ahmad Faiz bin Tarima from Bomba, Malaysia Forest Fire Brigades. And the last one is Dr. Ferace Tanpipas, represented the Thai Forest Fire Brigades. Each speaker will have 20 minutes to present his or her presentations, followed by about 30 minutes discussions. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over the speaker. Our first presenter today is a very special person, Ms. Fitria Sri Handayani. She is team commander of Manggala Agni Ketapang, West Kalimantan. Ibu Fitria, time and screen is yours. Silakan, Bu.
Recording in progress.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Mohon izin sebelumnya, apakah vokal saya bisa terdengar dengan jelas?
Terdengar jelas, so clear.
Yang terhormat Bapak Ibu pimpinan, yang kami hormati para narasumber, yang terhormat moderator serta semua peserta yang hadir pada kesempatan siang hari ini. Mohon izin tidak bisa disebutkan satu persatu. Terima kasih yang sebesar-besarnya kepada pimpinan yang telah memberikan kesempatan kepada kami untuk menyampaikan sharing implementasi Dalkarhutla. Mewakili Brigade Pengendalian Karhutla Kementerian LHK Republik Indonesia. Sebagai pembuka, izinkan saya perkenalkan diri terlebih dahulu. Nama saya Fitria Sri Handayani, lahir Ketapang 14 Mei 1988. Mohon izin sebelum menyampaikan saya berpantun terlebih dahulu. Jalan kerasau ke rumah Atun, baca basmalah agar selamat. Izinkan saya membaca pantun kepada semua yang terhormat. Membakar cumi di Pajar Ajisani, ada tebu, ada asam kuini. Salam hormat dari kami Manggala Agni. Pada Bapak Ibu ada di sini. Baik, langsung saja lanjut. Organisasi Brigade Pengendalian Karhutla dipicu oleh kebakaran hutan polusi asap tahun 1997 sampai 1998. Pemerintah Indonesia melalui Departemen Kehutanan dan Perkebunan pada bulan Juli 1999 membentuk Direktorat Pengendalian Kebakaran Hutan dan Lahan. Selanjutnya pada tahun 2004 berganti menjadi Direktorat Pengendalian Kebakaran Hutan. Mengingat Brigade Pemadaman Kebakaran Hutan yang ada masih tersebar dan tidak berada dalam satu garis komando yang jelas dari tingkat pusat sampai lapangan, atau tidak adanya satu lembaga tunggal yang menangani kebakaran hutan dan lahan, serta masih kurangnya sumber daya pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Maka Departemen Kehutanan kemudian dibentuk Brigade Pengendalian Kebakaran Hutan yang diberi nama Manggala Agni. Next. Saat ini Daops Manggala Agni telah dibentuk sebanyak 34 daerah operasi yang tersebar di 11 provinsi di Indonesia yang terdiri dari 3 pulau besar, yaitu Pulau Sumatera, Kalimantan, dan Pulau Sulawesi. Next. Dari tahun 2008 sampai saat ini, saya bertugas di Daops Manggala Agni Kalimantan 10 Ketapang, Balai PPI KHL Wilayah Kalimantan. Next. Dari tahun 2018 sampai dengan saat ini, saya dipercaya oleh pimpinan untuk menjadi Kepala Regu Manggala Agni. Next. Berdasarkan ketentuan umum nomor 56 pada Permen LHK nomor P32 tahun 2016 tentang pengendalian karhutla, dijelaskan bahwa tupoksi Manggala Agni meliputi pencegahan, pemadaman, penanganan pasca kebakaran, dukungan evakuasi dan penyelamatan dalam kegiatan Dalkarhutla di lapangan. Next. Nah, ini giat pencegahan kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Kegiatan pencegahan menjadi modal penting dalam kegiatan pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Sebab dengan mengoptimalkan kegiatan pencegahan, kejadian karhutla dapat dicegah seminimal mungkin. Beberapa kegiatan atau upaya pencegahan yang selama ini berjalan seperti patroli mandiri, patroli rutin, patroli terpadu, patroli ground check hotspot, teknik modifikasi cuaca, kemudian sipongi ke sekolah, sekolah lapangan, kampanye karhutla, sosialisasi PLTB, dan lain-lain. Selain itu, di era saat ini, media informasi lainnya seperti radio, televisi, dan media sosial juga menjadi salah satu ruang untuk dapat mensosialisasikan kebakaran hutan dan lahan pada halayak ramai. Salah satu pengalaman menarik saya dalam giat pencegahan pada saat pertama kali saya ikut patroli udara menggunakan heli. Bersama rekan-rekan BPBD Kabupaten Ketapang, mengudara lebih kurang 1 jam untuk melakukan pemantauan udara. Saya dilanda mabuk hingga akhirnya sampai mengeluarkan semua makanan yang saya makan. Namun itu semua tidak menjadikan saya takut atau fobia untuk senantiasa ikut dalam kegiatan patroli udara. Next. Kejadian kebakaran hutan dan lahan biasanya terjadi pada bulan yang intensitas curah hujan di bawah rata-rata. Biasanya pada bulan Maret sampai September, dengan puncak kemarau berkisar Juli sampai September. Pada fase puncak memasuki musim kemarau, lahan gambut menjadi sangat rentan akan kejadian kebakaran. Aktivitas membersihkan lahan oleh masyarakat dengan cara dibakar masih sangat banyak ditemukan. Kegiatan penanggulangan kebakaran hutan dan lahan melibatkan banyak pihak terkait pada tingkat kecamatan, bahkan provinsi. Kebakaran pada area gambut masih menjadi ancaman yang sangat serius, sebab diperlukan penanganan yang berbeda dan lebih spesial. Pada fase giat pemadaman karhutla dari berbagai stakeholder, saya selaku kepala regu memimpin regu untuk pemadaman harus mengambil peran yang sangat besar. Selain saya yang biasanya hanya satu-satunya perempuan di lapangan, saya dituntut untuk selalu cekatan dan taktis dalam mengambil keputusan. Selanjutnya juga harus mengkoordinir beberapa tim dari stakeholder lainnya yang akan melakukan pemadaman gabungan. Kadang-kadang saya juga mendapat pandangan sinis dari stakeholder lainnya, hanya dikarenakan saya seorang wanita. Namun, semuanya dapat saya patahkan dan terbantahkan dengan dukungan, kepercayaan anggota regu dan pimpinan kegiatan pemadaman. dan pada akhirnya mendapatkan tempat dari berbagai stakeholder dalam setiap penanggulangan karhutla yang telah kami laksanakan. Lanjut. Giat penanganan pasca kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Pada fase penanganan pasca kebakaran, kegiatan lebih banyak terfokus pada penegakan hukum yang dilakukan oleh Gakum dan juga Kepolisian Daerah Kalimantan Barat. Beberapa perusahaan kebun di kelapa sawit juga HTI diberikan sanksi, mulai dari sanksi administrasi sampai dengan sanksi pencabutan izin. Sedangkan untuk kasus perorangan belum banyak diproses atau diputus hingga P21. Beberapa masyarakat hanya diberikan sanksi wajib lapor dan pelanggaran pengolahan lahan untuk beberapa waktu. Next. Kami dari Daops Manggala Agni Kalimantan 10 mempunyai pencegahan unggulan, yaitu 1. Inovasi pengolahan limbah biomasa, pembukaan lahan menjadi produksi asap cair. Kami mempunyai jargon bakar dengan liar pasti kabut asap, bakar dengan tungku pasti dapur berasap. Nah, itu yang pertama. Kemudian yang kedua, artinya diharapkan dengan inovasi asap cair, masyarakat tidak lagi membuka lahan dengan cara membakar, serta bisa meningkatkan perekonomian masyarakat. Lanjut. Latar belakang terciptanya inovasi asap cair dalam pencegahan karhutla. Kami di lapangan di saat melakukan patroli sering berhadapan langsung dengan masyarakat yang sedang melakukan pembukaan lahan dengan cara membakar. Selanjutnya, kami sampaikan himbauan dan larangan untuk tidak membakar. Masyarakat yang sering meminta solusi. Jadi kalau tidak dibakar, mau diapakan limbah-limbah hasil tebangan tersebut. Mengingat masyarakat tidak mengetahui cara pembukaan atau pembersihan lahan selain dibakar. Next. Masyarakat menganggap pembukaan atau pembersihan dengan cara dibakar merupakan cara yang paling efektif karena biayanya murah dan tidak memerlukan tenaga yang banyak dalam pengolahan lahan tersebut. Next. Nah, melalui inovasi ini, limbah biomasa pembukaan kita daur ulang menjadi produk asap cair yang bernilai ekonomi jika dibandingkan dibakar secara sporadis di lahan, yang menghasilkan arang serta kabut asap yang dapat merugikan manusia dan lingkungan. Lanjut. Proses pembuatan asap cair sangat mudah untuk dilakukan, dimulai dengan pertama, mengumpulkan limbah biomasa sisa pembukaan lahan. Nah, yang kedua, dipotong dengan ukuran 20-30 cm, menyesuaikan tungku pilorisator. 3. Memasukkan limbah biomasa yang telah dipotong ke dalam tungku. Yang keempat, pembakaran limbah biomasa di dalam tungku. Yang kelima, proses pilolisis dan pendinginan. Yang keenam, asap cair ditampung ke dalam wadah yang telah disiapkan. Kemudian yang ketujuh, pengemasan produk, dan selanjutnya produk asap cair dapat digunakan dan dipasarkan. Next. Pada umumnya, masyarakat sangat antusias dikenalkan dengan produk inovasi asap cair ini, mengingat banyak sekali manfaat asap cair berbagai aspek kehidupan. Yang pertama, sebagai pengental latek atau getah secara alami. Nah, yang kedua, pencampuran pakan ternak, disinfektan dan deodoran ternak, penghilang kotoran ternak, bau-bau kotoran ternak. Yang ketiga, pupuk organik cair untuk pertanian. Dan yang keempat itu kesehatan. Lanjut. Tahapan-tahapan pelaksanaan kegiatan kewirausahaan asap cair yang sudah kami lakukan di lapangan antara lain meliputi 1. Sosialisasi, yang kedua pelatihan, ketiga pendampingan pembuatan demplot, keempat pendampingan pengaplikasian asap cair, dan yang kelima pendampingan kewirausahaan. Beberapa kegiatan kewirausahaan asap cair dapat dilihat pada akun medsos Ketapang. Next. Kegiatan inovasi pencegahan asap cair kami mulai pada tahun 2016 dan masih berjalan sampai saat ini. Di tahapan yang paling awal adalah dengan mensosialisasikan tentang pengolahan limbah biomasa sisa pembukaan lahan menjadi produk asap cair. Kami telah masuk ke komunitas adat dengan mengedepankan kearifan lokal serta menggandeng pemerintah daerah tingkat tapak atau desa untuk dapat menjalin pertemanan sebagai langkah pendekatan kepada masyarakat. Salah satunya dengan ikut terlibat dalam kegiatan sosialisasi masyarakat seperti acara adat, acara pengajian, acara menugal, terus kemudian acara panen raya. Next. Nah, selain kegiatan sosialisasi secara langsung kepada masyarakat, kami juga melakukan sosialisasi secara tidak langsung dengan memanfaatkan teknologi informasi dan media massa. Kelebihannya ya antara lain 1. Jangkauan lebih luas, 2. Dapat dilihat berkali-kali, 3. Dapat dijadikan referensi. Next. Proses selanjutnya setelah sosialisasi adalah kegiatan pelatihan. Dalam kegiatan pelatihan ini, masyarakat dilatih bagaimana cara membuat asap cair, fasilitasi dan dukungan untuk kegiatan pelatihan inovasi asap cair ini. Selain dari KLHK, masyarakat juga mendapat fasilitasi dari pihak swasta, dari perusahaan perkebunan atau HTI, dan juga dari pemerintah daerah setempat melalui desa ADD atau DD. Next. Tahapan selanjutnya merupakan tahapan yang diperlukan kesabaran dalam keuletan serta komitmen yang kuat dari anggota Manggala Agni selaku pendamping maupun masyarakat, mengingat proses pendampingan sangat panjang, mulai dari pencarian lahan, pembukaan dan pembersihan lahan, kemudian pengumpulan limbah biomasa, terus pendampingan pembuatan demplot, selanjutnya pendampingan pengaplikasian asap cair, kemudian pendampingan produksi dan pengemasan, kemudian kewirausahaan asap cair tersebut. Next. Salah satu kegiatan pendampingan kewirausahaan cuka kayu yang telah kami lakukan diantaranya, yang pertama kerjasama produksi asap cair antara pemerintah dengan masyarakat atau kelompok tani. Yang kedua, penandatanganan naskah kerjasama tentang produksi asap cair antara Pusat Penelitian dan Pengembangan Hasil Hutan, Balai PPI KL Wilayah Kalimantan, dan kelompok tani Sumber Rejeki. Kemudian, pencantuman binaan Puslitbang Hasil Hutan Bogor, KLHK, pada label kemasan produk asap cair yang diproduksi oleh kelompok tani Sumber Rejeki. Next. Sebagai upaya menciptakan pangsa pasar lokal sekitar masyarakat binaan, produksi asap cair yang dibuat oleh beberapa kelompok tani binaan, kami dibantu pasarkan melalui penitipan atau penjualan di toko-toko pertanian yang tersebar di wilayah kerja Daop Manggala Agni Kalimantan 10, Ketapang, yaitu di Kabupaten Ketapang dan Kabupaten Kayong Utara. Selain penjualan secara langsung, kami juga menjual secara online shop, namun masih dalam tahap pengembangan. Banyak pengalaman-pengalaman yang sangat berkesan selama saya bergabung di Manggala Agni. Namun yang paling berkesan menurut saya adalah melakukan kegiatan pemadaman gabungan dalam rangka tanggap darurat bencana asap pada tahun 2019. Pada tahun itu terjadi kebakaran hutan yang sangat hebat dan menimbulkan kabut asap yang sangat merugikan kehidupan manusia dan lingkungan. Terus kami bersama dengan tim Satgas Dalkarhutla Kabupaten Ketapang melakukan pemadaman selama kurang lebih 1 bulan sehingga kami memasang tenda peleton terdekat di lokasi terjadinya kebakaran. Pemadaman dilakukan hampir 24 jam. Dalam setiap harinya tim Satgas gabungan melakukan pergantian shift pemadaman per 8 jam. Suka dan duka selama di lapangan kami lalui bersama. Sukanya ketika berkumpul dengan kawan-kawan Manggala Agni dan tim Satgas gabungan lainnya tentu menambah keakraban dan meningkatkan jiwa korsa. Di saat salah satu orang-orang termasuk saya rindu dengan keluarga, anak dan suami, kemudian teman-teman Satgas lainnya menghibur dengan gelak, canda dan tawa karena ada saja tingkah mereka yang sering mengundang kita untuk tertawa. Terbahak-bahak, contohnya ada yang merebut makanan dan minuman. Di saat kami makan, terkadang ada kawan yang tidak kebagian makanan sehingga menjadi bahan candaan. Selain itu juga di saat memasuki jam istirahat, tidur masing-masing berebut tempat yang enak atau yang hangat untuk tidur sampai akhirnya keletihan tidur. Banyak hal pokoknya kalau stok air minum habis, mau tidak mau air gambut pun terpaksa kami minum. Selain itu juga sangat bersyukur mempunyai keluarga yang selalu mendukung dan mensupport saya. Suami dan anak-anak saya sangat mengerti dengan tugas saya sebagai Manggala Agni. Walaupun demikian, suara HP setiap hari selalu berdering. Karena mereka, terutama anak-anak saya, selalu bertanya kapan saya pulang. Maka saya sangat berterima kasih kepada suami dan keluarga yang bisa mengurus anak-anak selama kurang lebih 1 bulan selama saya menjalankan. Satu hal lagi yang berkesan itu di saat saya menjadi aktor dalam pembuatan video pengarusutamaan gender, yang kebetulan waktu itu saya mengikuti lomba storytelling PUG yang diadakan oleh Kementerian LHK. Pada saat itu saya dalam kondisi mengandung dengan umur kehamilan yang sudah 9 bulan. Di saat proses pengambilan video terakhir, kalau tidak salah pukul 5, tiba-tiba perut saya mulas dan selanjutnya mengeluarkan tanda untuk melahirkan. Kemudian saya diantar teman-teman ke rumah sakit. Dan alhamdulillah singkat cerita anak saya lahir pukul 18.30 malam. Yang menjadi luar biasa dan sangat berkesan bagi saya, alhamdulillah saya bersama tim dalam lomba video yang diselenggarakan oleh Kementerian LHK mendapat predikat juara 3 dari 84 peserta di seluruh Indonesia. Next.
2 menit lagi ya, Bu Fitri ya.
Beberapa hambatan upaya pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Hambatannya, lokasi rawan karhutla sebagian besar didominasi oleh lahan gambut. Nah, sehingga perlu penanganan dan perlakuan khusus. Ditambah lagi sudah banyak lahan gambut yang sudah terbuka sehingga rentan untuk terbakar pada saat musim kemarau. Sebagian besar kejadian karhutla terjadi di daerah yang sulit dijangkau sehingga penanggulangan cepat Karhutla masih menjadi PR bersama. Kemudian yang terakhir, luasan wilayah. Luasan wilayah hutan dan lahan yang harus dijaga sehingga tidak sebanding. Yang harus dijaga tidak sebanding dengan jumlah personil yang ada. Next. Sebagai kesimpulan, satu, pelibatan masyarakat dalam upaya pencegahan kebakaran hutan dan lahan harus dilakukan oleh Manggala Agni KLHK. Nah, yang kedua, masyarakat yang berada di sekitar kawasan hutan menjadi aktor utama dalam upaya pencegahan karhutla. Karena kesadaran masyarakat untuk tidak melakukan pembakaran hutan dan lahan adalah kunci keberhasilan dalam mencegah karhutla. Ketiga, nah, inovasi pengelolaan limbah pembukaan lahan yang menjadi produk asap cair yang mempunyai multi manfaat di berbagai aspek kehidupan yang bernilai ekonomi merupakan salah satu alternatif solusi untuk pembukaan lahan tanpa bakar. Dan yang terakhir, dengan semakin banyaknya masyarakat, kelompok tani yang melakukan kegiatan PLTP, maka kejadian karhutla bisa diminimalisir. Next. Cukup sekian dari saya. Karena tadi diawali dengan pantun, mohon izin saya tutup lagi dengan pantun. Membelah kayu, kayu belian. Pergi berburu, diri yang berasap.
Cakep.
Cegahlah kebakaran hutan dan lahan.
Cakep.
Ciptakan langit biru yang bebas asap.
Cakep.
Satu lagi. Melantun lagu buat kekasih.
Cakep.
Cukup sekian dan terima kasih.
Cakep.
Pantun dibaca, penutup presentasi. Maafkan kami, semoga bertemu lagi. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ibu Fitria, for the interesting presentation and information about Indonesian fire brigades. Ibu Fitria show us that women have a great contribution in tackling land and forest fire in Indonesia. Ibu Fitria also inform us that all activities, mainly in fire prevention, such as extension, charcoal and wood vinegar process from log waste for multi-purpose, from processing, training until how to market the product involving the private sector, as well as fire suppressants also done by herself. She also noted some impressive activities during fire season 2015, as she involved directly in the field with the shortage of food and water. She also experienced giving birth while conducting fire activities when we had a video shooting in the field. As we make aware, since 2015, our fire management is focused on preventions. And she also made a conclusions that involving local community and in innovation in opening land without burning should be encouraged to decrease fire occurrences. Additionally, you may watch the Women Manggala Agni Fire Brigades in special feature by official television broadcasting in YouTube. So you just googling in YouTube, then write down the Manggala Agni or Sri Kandi Manggala Agni, you may find some video. Next, I will invite Dr. Ahmad Faiz. Dr. Faiz currently works at the Fire Research Center of Fire and Rescue Department of Malaysia. He obtained the Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering from University Tenaga Nasional in 2019. He does research in fire modeling, engineering optimizations, fire safety engineering, performance-based design approach, and social science. His current project is seeking technological solution to suppress large wildfires in Southeast Asia's inland and peatland forests. I invite Dr. Faiz to share about Malaysia Fire Brigades. Time and screen is yours, Pak.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Good morning Indonesia, good morning Thailand. Thank you Dr. Israr Alba, the moderator today, as well Directorate of Forest and Land Fire Management for introducing me. My name is Aman Faiz Pintarima from Research Planning Center, Fire and Rescue Department of Malaysia. First, I would like to thank to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry and also the Forest and Land Management Office, Government of Indonesia for inviting me in this third series of webinar. Thank you so much. So I request to off to my camera to allow the stable connection. So my presentation today will be consisting the following point. First, talking about the disaster circle, preparedness equipment, water collection and delivery, serial and parallel pump ideology, suppression techniques, conclusion, and future improvement, best practice that I found, and also the X-Fire Innovation Challenge. So, based on the guideline that published by the Department of Environmental, Government of Malaysia, the peat fire management concept must be transformed from 20% prevention and this transformation will automatically reduce the suppression time, operation costs, manpower, and maintenance costs. This is also in line with the disaster management circle shown in this slide, which is categorized under mitigation or prevention. Other than that, the preparedness stage also should be taken into consideration by the relevant authority and also the fire department. For instance, the firefighters or other agencies, which is mostly together in Malaysia during the disaster, must go through the proper training and do a familiarization together with the equipments that will be utilized during training, as well as also suppression or real suppression operation. So this is the example, the equipment that's supposed to be used during training and real operation as shown. So drone normally can be used to capture the real-time image such as fire age, fire spread, size of fire, spread direction, wind direction, closest water supply, deep well, access road, and etc. And this data or this image can be transferred and plot into GIS platform and used for the operation strategy and planning. So in order to use this GIS system, we should need the internet connection, a Wi-Fi network, and also the heavy duty laptop during at site. So showing this screen also, we can see that the GIS mapping containing access road to the fire location. You can refer the yellow line. So I just create this scenario. By doing so, let's say we can estimate the distance for the firefighters reach to the fire location. And also the commander can also play the rules and plan for getting the water supply, allocate the staging, execute the fire suppression operation by performing several groups and equipments. Or in other words, it is the stage to do the planning or strategy for the fire operation. So besides that, the usage of the ATV is vital to assist and move the heavy duty equipment logistic such as hose, water pump to a new fire spot location. So from my experience, this is very much important because the movement of the heavy logistic and manpower are much difficult on the pit fire land surfaces. Talking about the water collection or delivery, based on experience, there are 4 approaches gaining or collecting the water supply. First is using the parallel pump and single pump. So if we using the parallel pump, it is more suitable to increase the water flow rate in case of for using total flooding techniques. While for the single pump, it can be used if the closest water supply and fire situation is not too critical. So if we using the relay pump, if the water sources is far away from the fire location, normally the firefighters need to use the relay pumping technique, a method to need to build another temporary pond for collecting the water. And also the serial pump also much suitable when the operation need to increase the water pressure while involve the many discharge outlet. For example, in a real location, in real fire, firefighters may use many wedge hose with nozzle for direct attack approach. For this condition, the serial pump is more suitable. So, the previous water collection energy is actually in line with the ideology of the parallel pump as shown in this slide. If we looking this slide, this graph, which indicate number 1 is single pump and number 2 is double or 2 pumps in parallel. What we can see here is the flow rate increase with the additional pump while maintaining the pressure. Meanwhile, if we using the serial pump, the pressure will increase, but the flow rate will remain same. This idea can be used when many discharge outlet or nozzle are used simultaneously. Moving to the suppression technique, the normal practice we use is direct attack. So the direct attack have the problem such as low efficiency and taking longer time to suppress the fire. So also the firefighter also exposed to the dangerous such as falling into the deep holes, exposed to the wild and venomous animals, pre-war bombs. Sometimes they're exposed to the pre-war bombs and exposed to the poisonous plants, waterborne disease and mosquito-borne disease. So the next technique is fire break, which by creating the drainage system around or along the fire edge so that the fire will not spread to the next area. Besides that, we have also in this technique, pit fire will suppress by the water underground. However, for my experience, this technique is not suitable during the drought season because need more water consumption. Otherwise, it is suitable during the prevention stage or before the drought season. So another technique that Bomba use in this Malaysia is water bombing. So the new technique here we approach is before we fly by helicopter, we are using drone complete with the thermal image and identify which area with the high temperature spot point. From this analysis, we can identify the specific location to do the bombing attack. So if when we have decided to do the water bombing, so the helicopter from the air division will fly and do the task. So by doing this way, I feel that this approach can reduce the cost of operating the helicopter operation. So another approach techniques that normally use can be used also backfiring. So backfiring is indirect method of attack. It is the act of setting fire along the inner edge of a fire line either to consume the fuel in the path of wide line fire, change direction of force the fire formation column, and slow the change fire rate spread. So for conclusion, I can say that we must focus on prevention and preparedness other than suppression. Second, we need to suppress. Second conclusion is the suppression method and water quality can be used depend on the strategy and the fire situation. And to the policymaker and also the government should also allocate the budget and upgrade the equipment and facility to the latest technology to avoid or to burden the firefighters during the fire operation stage. So the last conclusion, we must utilize ASEAN technology to ease mobilization of the heavy duty on the pit fire land. So from my experience, for my opinion, I have future improvement idea. I would suggest that the policymaker or government or fire department must think and design in advance the equipment that secure the firefighters do the fire suppression task. For instance, build a new equipment that can working within 24 hours. The firefighters only monitoring the water pump so that the firefighters can avoid the dangerous from falling in the holes, deep holes, threat of wild and venomous animal, pre-war bombs, and waterborne diseases. So this is the best practice that I have found during conducting the literature review. This is from Canada, invented in 2019. So let's see this video first.
Good day, I'm Kevin with Trident Pumps. We got called out to a we had a look at the situation. There was a wonderful creek down in this slough a half-mile away. So what we did was we drove our 6x6 down, backed it up into this creek, hooked up our 4-inch lay flat hose. We ran a half-mile of hose, and every 200 feet we've got water thieves set up. And they have a valve on them, and they have an 1.5 inch quick connect. So we can disconnect our sprinklers and they can hook up a Y and hook up 2 of their 1.5 inch fire lines at each of these water thieves. So we had 15 sprinklers running, and at any point in time we had 10 men running their 1.5 inch lines. They'd hook up either a 200-foot section or a 400-foot section and go into the bush with the 1.5 inch lines. The next one. Thanks a lot.
Blowing the bark off them trees. Okay.
So this is the last slide for me, the photos tell the story. So actually this is the X-Fire Innovation Challenge that I have won in March 2022. So actually this innovation challenge seeking the innovative solution to suppress wildfires in Southeast ASEAN and also the peatland fires in faster, safer, and cheaper manner. So this challenge consisting of 3 stages and have been go through for 3 years because the pandemic COVID. So for the first 3 phases is proof of concept, second is prototype, and third is testing. So in order to win this challenge, I have to think, and the innovation must be novel and also zero negative impact to the environment, and the solution can be deployed from the permanent with a distance 50 kilometers within 4 hours in bed quality and suppress 50 hectares within 48 hours. So this is the invention that I have invented from my team, and still under prototype, and will be do the improvement in soon. So that's all from my presentation. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad Faiz, for your great presentations on Bomba Fire Brigades. Dr. Faiz informed us about disaster circle in Malaysia, preparedness equipments, and how important of the water collections and also the delivery of the water, suppression technique, and future improvement. For preparedness equipments, Bomba use like a drone or train vehicle, involve the Wi-Fi and also GIS, which are completed in the GIS system in the computer. In suppression technique, involve the direct suppression and also water bombing. And I think later on, Dr. Chai also will touch about the fire management involving the water management. I check in the my screen. Now we have 424 participants in this Zoom meeting. At the last slides, Mr. Dr. Ahmad Faiz also mentioned about that we must focus in the preventions, and water quality is important, but it depends on the situations, and also the budget allocation also important. Not only the amount of the budget, but also the time manner of the budgets. We need also to utilize the available technology that we have. And the last one, I would like to congratulations to Ahmad Faiz for the X5 Innovation Challenge that you got 200,000 ringgit, I think. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our last speaker is Dr. Verachaya Tanpipat, who will share his presentation on forest fire brigades in Thailand. I know that Dr. Chai sent us about 100 slides. Oh, no, 68 slides. But please, you only have 20 minutes. Dr. Verachai is a remote sensing engineer and also geographer. His work has focused on wildfires, transboundary haze, and flooding throughout Southeast Asia. Currently, he is an advisor to the Director General of Thailand's Pollution Control Department, a founding member of the Upper ASEAN Wetland Fire Spatial Research Unit, senior expert faculty member of Forest at Kasetsart University. He also the co-chair of APAN Disaster Mitigation Working Group. I think I'm a member of this working group, and chairperson of APAN Open and Sharing Data Working Group. He studied geography and planning at University of Toledo in 1995. Studied environmental studies at Northeastern Illinois University in 1996, and PhD of environmental studies and geography at ASEAN Institute of Technology in 2009. Dr. Chai, we have 30 minutes. Time and screen is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Isra. Let me share my, okay. You see my slide, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, as a introduction, thank you for my introduction. My name is Virachai Tanpipat, and I'm involved with this forest fire for a long time, I think, like maybe, well, 25 years now, I guess, but less than Bambang. Bambang is longer. Bambang is an old friend of mine, but yeah, currently, I work as a senior expert at this Upper ASEAN Wildland Fire Special Research Unit, which is under Forestry Research Center at the Faculty of Forestry, Kasetsart University in Thailand. And I involve a lot. So, but when we're talking about these forest fire brigades in Thailand, I didn't know that we need to go into more detail, because that what you present, both of a presenter before me, they go into more detail. So I just touch upon our fire brigade, and even that I need many hours to explain, but I will try to go a little bit very precise. The problem is, okay, let's go further into the contents that the fire brigade in Thailand, how we organize the suppression unit, preparation for the crew, the equipment that we have, and a little bit of ground suppression that we have done in the southern Thailand in the peat forest, and the future development that we are planning to do in terms of fire brigade. No, not the fire prevention. I agree, totally agree that we have to move from fire suppression to fire prevention much more, because of the allocation of the funding. Most of them give to the suppression activities, which is a lot. Like for Thailand, we just bought like 4 new helicopters, you know, KA-32, like 4,000, no, 4 billion baht, something like that. And we don't have even a little bit money, like 100,000 for the community-based fire management, which is like, what? You don't have money for that, but you buy new helicopter, you know? And they said that they bought 2 more, so we're gonna have 6 of them, which is like, why? We need to move it to the prevention more than suppression. But they think that having more this kind of aerial water bombing will help a lot, which is they have to change their mindset. So, but at least we have, like in the past 2 years, we have a lot of rain during dry season. So there's not many fires in Upper ASEAN or in Thailand. So this is the history of our forest fire control. It used to be unit, it used to be office, and now it go down to become just a division, and it's split. It started in 1981. Okay, one director went to Canada. The Royal Forest Department realized that we need to have this fire control. So they sent this Director Apinan to Canada to learn how to establish how to work on the fire control, forest fire controls, and then we established the first unit in 1981 when he came back, and then in 1997, during the time that we had a bad El Nino and very big fire, I think still the largest fire in Indonesia, we established the so-called the special force called Fire Tiger, like a hotshot in Thailand. But then later in 2015, due to the ability of the unit and the budget, we just got order from Director Siri to dismiss it. Then now it reduced back to just a forest fire special force. And then in 2002, the whole office moved from Royal Forest Department to the Department of National Park. So we split into 2 departments. And then for the duty of Royal Forest Department in their reserve forest, they have to decentralize the duty of forest fire control to the local administration. So it started in 2004. Then until now, just finished this year, I think, or like a few thousand local administration, like a district. And then now in 2015, because of a lot of forest fires, so Royal Forest Department decided to re-establish the Forest Fire Control Division back again. And then they founded these Fire Hawks, the special force acting like a hotshot, go around the country. Whenever you have land fire up north, they go. You have peat fire, they go. So currently, a little bit confusing because of the authority. Now we have 2 departments that are responsible for this fire control in Thailand. And we also have the army, you'll see later. We also have the army, and then we also have the volunteer. We also have the prevision control department, so many of them. But this is just the structure. When they moved it to the Department of National Park, they have this Forest Protection and Fire Control Office. And under that, we have like Forest Fire Control Division that control all the whole country within protected area, okay? Within the protected area only. And within that, you have within the protected area, you have like 17 regional office to do that. Within this framework, we have 4 training center, okay, in the Department of National Park. And we have a Forest Fire Innovation Center. We have Forest Fire Research Center, which is like, I think 15 years ago, we're trying to be ASEAN Center, but now they changed their mind and then I think moved to Professor Bambang. Bambang got it. It's now in Bogor. And then the Forest Fire Control Station, we have 149 under this protected area. And the former Fire Tiger Special Force, we have 15 that can mobilize like 24 hours from north to south. They have to do that. And not only for forest fire only, even all the flooding, any disaster, they have to attend. Tsunami, we went, you know, after tsunami, we have to go the next day, something like that. So this is within the National Department of National Park. This is what they look like. I am one of the trainer for them for a long time, but lately with the COVID, I guess maybe we don't have that intense training, and then with the problem with the physical that they have to take. Okay, at the end of this of the material, if you would like to see how the standard that you need to meet for the physical aspect, you can look at that, but I'm not going to go through that because it's going to be too much detail. And this is for the National Department of National Park. And you have another department, the original one, Royal Forest Department. And now they also have this Forest Fire Control Division, but they're responsible only for the reserve forest, okay? Another type of forest. So another type of conservation forest. And they try to decentralize it. And they just reorganize the structure of the this Forest Fire Protection and Fire Control Office into this. So they try to move. They have 6 training centers throughout the country. They have 15 fire hawks, and the purpose of them is to transfer all the knowledge and authority and duty to the local administration and the Forest Fire Community Network that they have to do by themselves. But still, with a lot of fires, they still need to have this fire hawk to support and also give the training. Okay, so now they have 330 units throughout the country, but this unit also doing the forest protection as well, like a ranger walking in the forest. So they're doing too many duty now. So I don't know. We'll see about that. But they said, I heard this at the end of the year, they will change the structure again. I don't know. They just want to, you know, restructure. So we'll see about that. And they look like the same, the similar. That's with the Fire Tiger. And we also have this Director Isla always talking about fire ants. So we have this. Actually, in general, we have 5 types of these fire suppression brigades. Okay, the first one, a special force, a former Fire Tiger of the Department of National Park. The second one, red ant, also in the Department of National Park for the special force in the Department of National Park, 15 units, 225 personnel. Okay, the red ant a lot, 6,510 with the 434 stations. Okay, this is like a fire suppression, fire control station in each around throughout the country. And so that's oh no, sorry, 149, sorry, and but 434 units throughout this 149. So we have 6,510 personnel that get hiding like full time, okay, all year round. And then we have this fire hawk in Royal Forest Department for another 225 personnel that can move around. The army, they told, now I don't know the number, this is the number that they told me, that they have 500 personnel that can mobilize anytime regarding this forest fire mission or situation if needed. And then the volunteers seem to be many. So I don't know, I just say more than 100. Okay, so the number you can sum up like this. Okay, in each type, oops, sorry. So in each type like this. So roughly we have like 7,000 something each fire season, okay, to use. Then we have fire crew, we have fire detection and communication team. We also have a war room, you know, we use so many things, and too many people order, so we confuse, you know, like they have single command. The governor can order it, and then the general from the army can order it, you know, and then the director general of each department order it, and sometimes the minister came down himself and ordered it. So it's like kind of confused when the fire happened, the big fire happened. But in general, all those are organized like this fire suppression units. So we kind of mimic these the crew. We have the big crew is 15. When you separate it in half, they can work as 7 small crews with different equipment, okay, in line. This is the example in Fire Tiger team, but the Fire Falcon, the Fire Hawks in Royal Forest Department also organized like this. The Red Ants also organized like this, but the physical different, the skill different, okay? So within the whole team is 15, unlike Hotshot. Hotshot is 20 of them. So we organize like this. And this is the trainer within the Department of National Park. So I'm not gonna go into the detail. Most of them retired already, okay? So we do the recruiting, we do the organizing, and we do the training. Okay, we get, this is the example of one of the training center for the Department of National Park in central area, regional office for the training. This is in Kanchanaburi, western forest by Myanmar. And this is for Royal Forest Department that they have 6 of them. They train with the right here. They train with the army. So the nearby of this training center have the special force of army also nearby. So they use the army to train them. I help them a bit, but in terms of geoinformatics, not the training of this skill, the physical or the fire control. So this is the equipment that we have. Basic one. This is the old one, still the same, just changing. This is where we kept them. So I just go a bit that this is when we organize. We have the hand tool. Okay, we are not wet. We suppress. We try to control fire with we call it dry suppression, not the wet suppression. But now at the end, you see that we try to change it because of the climate change, the heat that make the fuel drier, and with the rain, the accumulation of the fuel more. Then we need, now we start to we realize that we need the wet suppression to combine with the dry suppression as well. Okay, so each tool has its own purpose because of the fire triangle. So this first for the reduce the heat, this is the backpack pump that to just reduce the heat. Then we have this swatter to remove the oxygen, and the rack or the McCoy Laco, we remove the fuels. This is the basic one for the dry suppression that you need to have, unlike the peat fire, which is different. And now currently, because of the surface fires, we use this wind blower pump, but this up here use all the petrol, but it's dangerous because of the you use petrol near the fire. So lately, we're trying to Royal Forest Department testing now with the electric one, because many incidents already in the past couple of years that the wind blower got burned, from the fire because there's you carry the petrol in the back of you all the time. So when the wind change direction, it might get caught and burned. So now for the safer, we do this electric one. This is the equipment that we're using. We have farm tractor, we have water tank, well, we have slip-on tank, we have fire tender. We use the macro for the peat fire. We did the trench, and we're using the pump, but the different kind of pumps and the long, right? You said like Bambang told me in 2015 that you're in Sumatra, I think Palambang, I think it's just like a water table went down to 40 meter. It's like, wow, how can you get the water from that? You have to dig it down. So I don't know, it's very dry. So the same thing happened in Thailand also. It's the peat get too dry and then get caught fires. And we have the water bomber from the helicopter, different type, and we also use the helicopter to deliver any necessary thing to the fire brigade inside the forest. So we have to practice as well and carry out the injured one. This is practice. Get the water in. Then we have this typical water bombing from the helicopter, small one. We have the big one, the Chinook from the army. We have the Bell. This is used a lot more, Huey. And then we have this, used to have amphibian. This one, I didn't know that we have it, but the director series said we got it from Canada, but it's no maintenance, so gone already, okay? And this is the amphibian that have to use to work. And we have the C-130 using the army also costs a lot of money. That's the problem. And we use now this one, we use Dakota, still using this one. And they love to use this. I don't know why. It costs a lot also. This is MI7, two of them trying to go. They from the army, what is it? The regional 3. And this is the one that now the basic one that we use. We have 4 of them for a KA-32. And it can suck like, I don't know, 3,500 liters within 1 minute, something like that, to go up. And then you can, it's nice to have, but the cost of operation may be too much, I think. And then they have this UAV fixed wing from the army, from the Air Force, that go and then do the video and then take the photo. But this UAV is up like in around 3 kilometers up in the sky. So it's like very far. They think that it can be also take photo of the people that the arson that have ignite the fire. So they took the picture as well that can see the face, which they have a very good camera on that. So in the morning they do this UAV survey, and then they plan what the bombing at 1 p.m. or MI7 or this KA-32 will go, something like that. And the basic drone that we are using before we go in and to trying to control fires, we use this thermal small drone to go in and make a survey before you start to do any fire control. We do this, and then we do the briefing, planning, and we move. Okay, it's helped a lot. So you know where the fire front are. And just introduction new that we try to understand the fire weather as well. This is from FCS company in Canada. They sent one for us to test, and now and then this link it to the this one is like just 2 months ago that the U.S. Army, the Washington National Guard came, and we have this Cobra Grow practice, and I just introduced this equipment to them, and we try to cooperate more on the fire control, learning the way they do in the US, I guess, hopefully so, through the Army, and the equipment link it with the cloud-based by Iridium. So in Canada, they have this software, cloud-based software that we can organize. And this can measure the wind direction, the fire fuel, humidity, the temperature, something like that. Example of the ground, this is the ground fire suppression, example. So similar to what you have done, you are doing. Okay, this is like an example. You can look at that later. And we plan to have next year, again, this fire expert exchange with the Royal Forest Department, the Royal Thai Army, and the US Washington National Guard. And this is what I said for the water pump. This is a focal equipment that they use for the mountains, mountain suppression with wet suppression. The pump, very strong, can go like with the high pressure hose, can go up to like 3 kilometers away from the water source and still have the power. But the problem is that it's expensive, like you saw in the clip that the before that the Mark III, you know, a Mark III is very famous one for, you know, I don't know, 60, 70 years already for the pump, but it is very expensive, light, powerful, but expensive for the small one. So this is the new one that we're trying to integrate. If a focal allow us to, you know, try to combine with the technology that the Korean Forest Service using. At the my conclusion, sorry, maybe take a little bit more. We have five main forest fire suppression forces in DNP, in Royal Forest Department, in the Army, and volunteer. In DNP, we have two. We have red ants, which many of them, and we have fire tiger, formal fire tiger. And personnel, like I said before, is like a 7,500 personnel during fire season from January to April. And we use variety of forest fire suppression equipment. It depends. And we use the backfire, we use so many things, and different kind of aerial water bombing support, which now I think is too many because you have to spend like a lot of money for 1 hour service of this kind of aerial water bombing and retard dropping. But the problem is that we don't have much problem like yours when you have smoke from the pit fire, which is prevent you to fly, I mean, to use the aerial force. But Thailand is not that bad, okay, because we have different type of vegetation which produce different kind of smoke. Okay? And further, that like I said, we would like to cooperate more with the focal and U.S. Army about this fire control. That's the end of my presentation. Sorry, taking a little bit long. But if you would like to look later, you can look at that how we prepare the clue, which is later in my PowerPoint. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chai. We have 5 minutes extra.
Really? Very good. So yeah. For the maybe the prevention, I talk a little bit more about the prevention, that we have a community-based fire management before, but now I'm trying to introduce community-based and water management, because without water, it's very difficult to generate income. And when you have water, it's much easier to do the agricultural, and then you generate incomes. So the idea, I tried to introduce in the past 2-3 years, and the Myanmar forest department, they love it so far, but how to make it happen, it takes a long time, because people have to buy into your concept, and they have it's not going to be fast. It's going to be slow. You have to reorganize your resources. If you don't have water, how can you bring water back into your area? That also take a long time and difficult, because it's already created, you know. So that's another idea that would love to continue and make it happen. And we have a very good example of this community-based water management that we have done in the past 20 years also, and then generate sufficient income. So it's sustainable. The thing is like we looking for the sustainable way of try to develop this community-based fire and water management without income. The payment for eco service or whatsoever, when the project money done, is gone and it go back to the same thing. But how to sustain it? That's very difficult, really difficult. And then you have to show them the money. Whatever you say, whatever you do, you have so many stuff, so many things, so many ideas. But if you don't show them the money that they can really touch, have, and use, I don't think you can sustain it. I've seen many. And
agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the excellent presentations, Dr. Chai. If you have questions for Dr. Chai, please add them in the chat, and we'll be able to answer some of them during the Q&A at the end. I would like to make a note. Dr. Chai informed us about the forest fire brigades in Thailand, including a Firehawk Special Force in 15 stations with 235 personnel. And Dr. Chai also mentioned about the organizing of fire suppression units, preparing fire queue, and also the equipments, ground fire suppressions, and developments. The important thing is Dr. Chai is stressing about how important the prevention comparing to the suppressions. So that's also in the early of this webinar, I mentioned about the prevention is our focus now. I also interested in some slide of your presentation that the Department of National Park also used the fire generating system for forecasting. And the helicopter, it's very impressive that Thailand has or used Bell, Chinook, and Hercules, and CL-215, even Dakota, and Mi-7. Now it's very costly because Mi-7 is from the Russian, as well as Kamov Ka-32. Also, you have the UAV fixed wing. It's very, very impressive, as well as a thermal camera drone. And perhaps maybe we can have like a joint training, Manggala Agni with fire brigades, and also Bomba Malaysia. Why not?
Yes.
If the conditions, if we have the possibility to do that.
That what I forgot to ask that because of the what is it? A Washington National Guard.
Yes,
they pick Malaysia as their partner as well. Malaysia and Thailand, so we can have joint training with Malaysia, Thailand, and then maybe Indonesia. Just because they have to select the two countries, and they select Malaysia and Thailand. That's why we had this year.
Okay.
But yeah, but yeah.
Again, thanks for all distinguished speaker. Before discussion sessions, we will watch the video of Manggala Agni Fire Brigades. Silakan.
Manggala Agni adalah sumber daya manusia yang sangat diandalkan dalam pencegahan, pemadaman, penanganan pasca kebakaran, dukungan evakuasi, dan penyelamatan dalam kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Sebagai garda depan pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan, anggota Manggala Agni dituntut punya keterampilan teknis dan jiwa korsa yang tinggi saat bertugas, kompak, tangguh, dan berani. Dalam upaya meningkatkan kapasitas anggota Manggala Agni, Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup dan Kehutanan bekerja sama dengan The International Tropical Timber Organization atau ITTO menyelenggarakan kegiatan bimbingan teknis Manggala Agni sebanyak 11 kali di Daups Manggala Agni di Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah, Kalimantan Selatan, Sumatera Selatan selama masing-masing 3 hari dan diikuti lebih dari 400 peserta. Dalam pelatihan, peserta mendapatkan pengetahuan sekaligus keterampilan tentang keselamatan dan kesehatan kerja dalam pelaksanaan pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Pengetahuan ini sangat penting bagi Manggala Agni mengingat aktivitas pengendalian karhutla yang sangat berisiko tinggi. Dengan bimbingan instruktur, anggota Manggala Agni mempelajari teknik-teknik keselamatan kerja untuk meminimalisir potensi kecelakaan kerja saat bertugas.
Peserta itu harus dalam kondisi tenang apabila menemukan korban, dia tidak panik. Kemudian untuk peserta juga itu harus memahami kondisi di lapangan, tetap waspada.
Peserta juga mendapatkan pengetahuan dan keterampilan berkaitan dengan evakuasi satwa yang terdampak kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Anggota Manggala Agni dilatih teknik-teknik bagaimana melakukan evakuasi beragam satwa liar yang kerap dihadapi saat melakukan pemadaman.
Khusus untuk satwanya, teman-teman juga harus memperhatikan jenis satwanya apa-apa aja. Kendaraan, APD, alat pelindung diri itu nomor 1. Jadi jangan meremehkan, kita tidak tahu apa yang akan terjadi di lapangan.
Setelah mempelajari evakuasi satwa ini, kami lebih tahu dan bisa memahami cara mengevakuasi satwa tersebut. Terkait ketika kami pernah mengalami kecelakaan dan setelah mempelajari ini kami lebih tahu untuk mengatasi kecelakaan tersebut.
Materi praktik pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan diberikan agar anggota Manggala Agni selalu prima dalam bekerja. Siap bertugas setiap saat, kapanpun dan dimanapun, sesuai standar operasi di lapangan. Motivasi, solidaritas tim, dan produktivitas kerja terus dijaga dan dibangun dalam suasana kebersamaan. Dukungan sarana dan prasarana yang memadai akan semakin meningkatkan profesionalitas anggota Manggala Agni dalam bekerja. Pada proyek kerjasama Capacity Building on Forest and Land Fire Management in Indonesia, ITTO juga memberikan dukungan sarana dan prasarana, antara lain seragam kerja, peralatan pemadam kebakaran, GPS, dan kendaraan bermotor untuk mendukung anggota Manggala Agni dalam bertugas. Patroli Manggala Agni untuk pencegahan kebakaran hutan dan lahan dilakukan secara rutin dengan mengaplikasikan Smart Patrol berupa Sistem Informasi Patroli Pencegahan atau SIPP. Anggota Manggala Agni dapat mengoptimalkan tugas-tugas di lapangan. Di antaranya, mereka melakukan identifikasi dan pendataan lokasi rawan karhutlah, mengecek tinggi muka air untuk memantau kelembapan lahan gambut, dan uji remas rasah atau identifikasi kerawanan karhutla harian. Dalam upaya pencegahan karhutla, anggota Manggala Agni melakukan sosialisasi dan anjang sana ke masyarakat agar tidak melakukan aktivitas yang bisa memicu kebakaran hutan dan lahan.
Sekarang kalau patroli menggunakan aplikasi Smart Patrol dan juga adanya bantuan kayak baju, kendaraan, sangat menunjang lah pekerjaan kita di lapangan. Dan tentunya lebih mudah karena kita bisa tidak banyak membawa peralatan seperti alat tulis karena sudah lengkap di aplikasi Smart Patrol itu.
Melalui patroli, monitoring kondisi hutan dan lahan secara menyeluruh di tingkat tapak dilakukan secara terus-menerus. Berbagai upaya untuk meningkatkan kapasitas SDM dan sarana prasarana atau Satpras Manggala Agni ini terus dilakukan untuk semakin meningkatkan profesionalitas Manggala Agni dalam melaksanakan tugas pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Dengan dukungan semua pihak, Manggala Agni selalu siap melaksanakan pengabdian dalam pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan yang profesional dan handal.
Thank you for the great video. I hope all of you enjoyed the short video on Manggala Agni as I did. I will go ahead take some time for question now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your question into the question box in your control panel. I have one question here for Mr. Agus, from Mr. Agus to Ms. Fitria. In Bahasa Indonesia, I can translate it. The first question to Ibu Fit, okay, it's already here. So the question is, what is the for Miss? Wait, hilang. Okay. So the first question from Pak Iskandar Bara from Minister of Environment and Forestry to Ibu Fitria, Dr. Ahmad Zain, and also for Dr. Chai. The first one is that he was surprised with Ibu Fitria that's involved in fire brigades, Manggala Agni. The question is there the personnel of fire brigades in Malaysia, Bomba, and also in Red Ant, Thailand, not only the men but also women. The second question is for Ibu Fitria. In generally, is there any differences that owned by the fire brigades, both men and women, in conducting their tasks in fire management, especially for the fire suppressions? So that's the question to Ahmad Zain, Pak Ahmad Faiz, and also Dr. Chai. Is there any fire brigades, the women fire brigade, such as the Indonesian cases? And for Ibu Fitria, I think the second one. Please, Dr. Ahmad Faiz, and first, I think.
Thank you, Doctor. So for your information, Fire and Rescue Department in Malaysia consisting male and female firemen or fire women. So in this context, we're not also performing or tasks in the fire suppression in wildland or forest fire, but also in other tasks, in building fire and also in rescue operation. So there is no difference between female and male firefighters to do the job. So for your information, but in Malaysia there is no special task. That's only because the Bomber Malaysia is responsible for those activities or other rescue operations such as fire and also rescue. So for the forest fire, the women and also men will normally be together do the same task during the fire suppression.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmad Faiz. I think that's almost the same with the Indonesia. So the second question, the same questions also goes to Dr. Chai. Please, Dr. Chai.
In Thailand, different. Yes, we do have women firefighter. In Firehawks we have, but they don't go to do the suppression. Okay, they're doing other tasks like office task. They're doing this like the news. When we have some questions, they will be the people that try to explain what's going on. But for doing the suppression, Firehawks don't do that. Red Ant, very few. Maybe the sheep are women. They don't have to go. They just look and order. But in the fire front, no women. I don't think so. I didn't see one yet. But we have a director as a woman. Yes. We have the sheep as a woman. Yes. But in the front line, no. I don't see them. In Fire Tiger, no. None. A Firehawk, a few, very few, like less than 10. From in the unit in the unit. So but they're doing different tasks. In the fire front, they don't go there. Okay, they just they can be a director or they can be the chief, the fire boss, but not the one who really doing the task. That what is going on in Thailand. So they have higher, you know, they can order you. Not yeah, they have higher position. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Chai. Maybe to ensure about the women fire brigades, I think maybe we have a schedule to see directly in the field in Thai. Later on, yeah, Dr. Chai. We'll visit the Royal Thai Fire Brigades. Tadi ada pertanyaan untuk Mbak Fitria secara umum, adakah perbedaan yang dimiliki oleh para brigade pengendalian kebakaran wanita dalam menjalankan tugas? So this is about the differences. Is there any difference in tasks both among women and men of fire brigades? Silakan Ibu.
Baik, terima kasih. Sebenarnya secara tanggung jawab, tugas pokok dan fungsi yang diberikan kepada anggota Manggal Agni, baik itu perempuan maupun laki-laki, tidak ada perbedaan yang signifikan. Setiap anggota Brigade Dalkarhutla Manggal Agni, baik perempuan maupun laki-laki, mereka mempunyai tupoksi tugas dalam pencegahan, pemadaman, dan penanganan pasca kebakaran. Hanya saja mungkin pada bagian porsi pelaksanaan pekerjaan yang membutuhkan tenaga besar, peran anggota laki-laki lebih dominan dibandingkan perempuan. Seperti contoh saat melakukan kegiatan pemadaman, anggota laki-laki mungkin yang angkat-angkat mesin atau barang-barang berat itu para pemadam yang laki-laki. Saya hanya membantu membawa selang karena setiap orang punya peran sendiri-sendiri. Selain itu, anggota perempuan selama ini selalu memang identik pekerjaannya itu memang di bagian kesekretariatan. Namun di sini saya mendapatkan mandat dan tanggung jawab sebagai kepala regu, di mana yang tupoksinya antara lain adalah mengarahkan anggota, kemudian mengkoordinasikan kegiatan pengendalian karhutlah baik internal maupun eksternal, kemudian menindaklanjuti arahan Kadaop atau pimpinan terhadap anggota, terus menyusun rencana kerja harian dan bulanan, kemudian mengendalikan kegiatan harian regu sesuai dengan jabatan anggota regu dan lain-lain. Mungkin itu
Baik,
yang
ya,
bisa saya sampaikan, Pak.
Baik, terima kasih. Yeah, so more or less their task is not different, but the women's stressing in the like logistic administration in secretariat and sort of things. Thank you, Ibu Fitria. And we go to the second round of the questions from Bapak Muhammad Yani from Kalimantan to Dr. Ahmad Faiz bin Tarima. Based on the research that you conducted, according to your research, what is the big challenge that you're facing now and also in the future, and how to overcome this challenge? I think this is interesting questions. Not only for Pak Faiz, but also for us in Indonesia. Please,
Okay.
Pak Dr. Ahmad Faiz.
Thank you, Muhammad Yani. So from my experience with the innovation that I have invented, so actually I am facing the problem with the water pump capacity. So if we want to do the suspension simultaneously with the multi-outlet discharge, we need the powerful water pump. So until now, I'm still searching the powerful water pump, and then I can conclude that if we want to building the water pump with a higher capacity, let's say 100 bar, so definitely the vehicle will be bigger. So it is not practical to do to bring this pump, the portable pump, to the pitland. So that is my critical thinking that I still solving the problem now. So ongoing this way, I'm still searching the pump supplier and also another inputs to help me to solve this problem actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmad Faiz. Perhaps we can share experience and also knowledge because in our Manggala Fire Brigades also, they make their own innovations. And, you know, in mechanical things or even in the pump fire, they also try to modify the pump and also the hose, the nozzle, and etc. Thank you. The third question is from Pak Andrian. This is from the company, Harrison Pawan Katulistiwa, to Dr. Chai. Metode deteksi dini. So the question is, what is the early detection methods that's according to your experience, that's most effective that we can use in mineral and also in pitlands? We have the immediate response in this detection system, especially for the pitland.
Okay, for the pitland, the fire patrol. That's the one that you really need, the basic that you need to have, and then you already have those like I don't know, 15 units of the camera, the civilian camera, the high thermal one that can cover a very vast area that surveys 360 within like, I don't know, 5 minutes, every 5 minutes. That are the very effective ones. The satellites, they come from time to time, like 12 hours. And now we have 4 of them for free from NASA and NOAA. And then the Himawari, not good enough, but for the peat fires, if you develop the good detection algorithm, which proves to be working with the Himawari 8, that can detect it, but the resolution and sensor that on board this they call it advanced Himawari imager or something like that, that are not really good like the ghost one in the US. So then hopefully the next that JAXA and JMA will send up for the Himawari 10 will improve this sensor. So you can have every 10 minutes of the data, of the thermal data, that you can detect better before the fire get too big. I tested in Thailand for Himawari in the past 5 years, and not working because our fire is too small. But in Australia, in Indonesia, Himawari is good because your fire are like kind of big, so you can detect and have information every 10 minutes. So the fire patrol will still a good one to have, actually, to do, but the vast area might be difficult. And then we used to have helicopter or fixed wings, but that's also cost you. The fixed wing can do it, but not cover the big area. If you have the very big area, the fixed wing even can stay, I don't know, 5-6 hours, still not cover all. So in that mean, it's dependent. You have to combine with different types, the satellite, the helicopter, the UAV, the fixed wing, the people on the ground. So everything, or even from the people, you have the hot number that people can call if they see the smoke, something like that. So 24 hours. So you have to combine everything all together. Cannot be specific in only one means to do so. And bad thing about Thailand that we use this satellite, so-called active fire or hotspot as the KPI, and people know that when the satellite will come, so they will burn after the satellite pass, and they have like almost 10 hours or 12 hours to burn. So you have reduced the number of active fire, but you have a lot of smoke, which is strange. So we're saying it's a trans-boundary problem from like for Thailand, from Laos or from Cambodia. But people in Thailand know when the satellite will come. So you use satellite as the KPI, just the number, not enough anymore. So now we start to try to say that the number of hotspot will not count. But many people saying that it's easy, easy to count and look back in the history. So you have to combine with the burn area, many things, and then the underground that the suppression unit attend, which is different from what the satellite detected also. So so many factors. So to answer that, use everything. Use everything.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Chai. I agree with you because the pit fire still cannot detect it by the satellite that we have now. So
yesterday,
everything that we have, especially for the petrol, petrol by it's by man petrol direct to the ground. Okay, I think
a bit on that. I just talked with the European Space Agency. That they asking that should they have this detection of the peat, because they're talking about the Arctic fire and it's underground fire, even ground fire as well. So I said, please develop it, and they said they will have the system for that. But I said, I'm talking about Indonesia. I'm not talking about the Arctic. They said they're talking about the Arctic, but I said you can combine both if you could do it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I think we still have 3 minutes more. So this is, I think, the last question due to the limited time. So the question is from Ade Sopian Hadi, Bapak Ade Sopian Hadi from Mataram University. This is in Nusa Tenggara. So the questions goes to Ibu Fitria Sri Handayani. Apa saja yang perlu diperhatikan pada saat pembukaan lahan agar tetap aman seperti yang disebutkan barusan? So what kind that's
Baik,
what kind of
ada beberapa hal
we have to
yang
consider
bisa
in opening
dilakukan
the line?
Dalam pembukaan lahan.
Ya, silakan.
Di antaranya yang pertama, membuat sekat bakar sekeliling lahan dengan lebar yang cukup dan aman untuk mencegah penjalaran api ke lahan sekitarnya. Kemudian yang kedua, menyediakan bahan dan peralatan pemadaman api yang memadai. Nah, kemudian yang ketiga, pemberitahuan pemilik lahan yang berbatasan sebelum melakukan pembakaran tersebut. Selanjutnya dilakukan secara bergiliran. Jadi jangan serempak, jangan sama-sama di saat melakukan pembakaran tersebut.
Inggrisnya ada ini, ada translate.
Kemudian dimulai dari tepi lahan. Pembakaran dimulai dari tepi lahan dan juga harus diperhatikan kondisi arah anginnya. Kemudian harus dijaga secara bersama-sama. Dan tidak diperkenankan meninggalkan lahan yang sedang dibakar sebelum apinya benar-benar padam. Kemudian menggunakan dan mengutamakan tata cara tradisional sebagai kearifan lokal masyarakat setempat. Terus terakhir, tidak mengakibatkan lahan orang lain ikut terbakar dan mengganggu keselamatan orang. Mungkin itu yang hal-hal yang mesti diperhatikan saat membuka lahan agar aman.
Baik, ya, terima kasih Bu. So what's Ibu Fit? Saja Bu?
Cukup mungkin.
Okay. So what Ibu Fitria mentioned is about how to, if you would like to do a fire, in your area. So we have to consider some factors. I think this is also the same principle in the prescribed burning. We know the prescribed burning or the control fire. So it should be in small area. The second one, we have to monitor time to time. I mean, so we have to do that. We have to be there. Then we have to wait, and then until the fire is already, finished, and then we have to do it, not together with, let's say, one village. So it should be one people in one area. So maybe today this person, and next day should be another person. So we have like a schedule for the fire. Even particularly in our regulations, it mentioned that you have not allowed to do fire, but in some another regulation still allow for maximum for 2 hectares, especially for the traditional for local community. So that's the answer from Ibu Fitria. I think we still have one more question here. Okay, from Bapak Heru Budianto from Kalimantan to Dr. Ahmad Faiz. How effective is the indirect extinguishing of brick fires on peatlands because of the type of bottom fire? Please, Pak Faiz.
Thank you, Mr. Heru Budianto, for your question. According to my research and experience, indirect extinguishing fire break is not very effective, actually. However, it depends on the fire situation. From my presentation that I have shown several techniques that can be used, actually is general fires, actually maybe for the forest fire, maybe the beluka fire, or yang peatland fire. So we can choose which way this is more suitable for the peatland fires. From my experience, direct attack is more suitable because we can extinguish directly for the fire flame. So we want to what I am to share is here is we have to think and design how effective the direct method to do the simultaneous extinguishment or suppression method in a big area. So we have to think and create a new ideas. So let's say what I have shown in this video, we can take the idea from there. So that if we want to break the fire in the peatland, I cannot see that is most effective. So what I can say is must be extinguished directly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ahmad Faiz, for the explanation. So I think maybe also it depends on the situations and also depends on the peatlands, because the peatlands characteristic will be different from from one location to another location.
Definitely.
Okay. Our next question is from Bapak Purnomo Heriawan to Dr. Chai. What do you think the biggest challenges that will your brigade face recent and in the future? And what are approaches or efforts to address them? Please, Dr. Chai.
The big challenge? The budget. The budget is a problem. Well, the people, the continuous of the force, the big challenge now for the just fire brigade, that the people, we don't have the regular people all the time. So some of them would like to change job, you know, and then not get paid enough, something like that. So still have that challenge long time that happened also with the for example fire hawk or fire tiger that training so hard, nobody would like to stay longer, so they quit and we couldn't find the appropriate people to replace. That's the big challenge in terms of the fire brigade. And then the command, it's so many bosses in Thailand, let's just say that. So when something happened, many people order from different direction to the same fires. So it's very difficult to, you know, in the field to do the proper one. That's also the big challenges. And different people don't have different idea. And most of them, I could say here, they don't get the proper training. We have not enough training for safety. When you would like to become a fire brigade, you need to have a safety first. That's why I'm one of the trainer. I always saying it that train. I mean, you have to look for your own safety first, and the process to doing so is not easy. And then the people try to ignore it, like the red ants. We switch changing all the time. So some of them don't have the proper training before fire season. So sometimes you have to do the training, I mean, on the job training, which is quite now dangerous because of the climate change. The field is drier and then the fire intensity much higher. So we have a fatality more in the past couple of years. So that those are challenges I can see. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chai. If I may suggest, for a lot of bosses in Thai, maybe you can develop or establish incident command system.
Oh,
So
we have.
Yes.
Whatever you say, we have everything. Okay, we have everything. We have all the manual, all the process, everything. But when the time comes, so many bosses, you know, from different places, they order differently. So it's quite difficult for the real thing. But on the book, yes, you have everything.
Okay, thank you.
Follow that different story.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions that we raise? I think this is the last question that we have because of the limited time. It's almost 12 now. So the last question is from Riau to Dr. Ferachai and also Dr. Ahmad Faiz. If there's a fire, who will be the incident commander or the command of a task force? So this is something related to the previous questions. So first, Dr. Chai, please.
It's supposed to be the fire boss, the people in forest service. They just say that, the people that know the area. But like I said before, the problem is like you have the governor, you have the general coming in, you have the different peoples, then the command of the fire incident change, you know, because of the ranking. We have to change it like in the US, when even though the general going into a fire incident, that general have to listen to this chief, you know, the fire boss. Not unlike in maybe the culture in Thailand is different. That's why when the big people come, they order something and change the whole operation. Still going on. But who is you have to listen? The fire boss. In that incident, everybody have to listen to him or her.
Good.
But in the real world, not like that. So, have to change it.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chai. So we'd like to know also the Malaysian cases in this what we call it, if the fire occurs, who is the boss, like in Thai? Please, Dr. Faiz.
Thank you. Thank you. For fire incident, it depends on the stage. If the fire is burning within the district only, so the fire incident command will be the fire officer of that district. We call the fire zone, fire officer zone. So if the fire is involved to state, so the director or state director will be in charge for the fire incident. So during the fire incident, for the bigger fire, of course, the headquarters boss will be incident command. So in that case, for the real situation, actually, the fire officer actually lead the operation, but together with the involvement or collaboration with others agency. Let's say with the other agency, let's say in my country, we have to collaborate with the Department of Environmental, let's say, with the police and other agencies related in a certain area or in certain district or in a certain state. So it depends on the stage of the fire area.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Faiz. So I think it's also depends on where the fire occurs.
Yeah.
I think it looks like we've covered all of our questions. Again, thank you for all distinguished speakers and also participants who already gave more information on fire brigade in these three countries. I believe there's so many questions we arise regarding the fire brigades in these three ASEAN countries. However, due to limited time, we have to conclude this webinar and hope we can have another webinar with other fire brigades ASEAN countries to give another perspective on how ASEAN countries tackling land and forest fire. However, to conclude our today's discussions, I will try to summarize our webinar from three speakers who already shared their experiences on fire brigades. The first one from Thailand. Thailand has 5 kinds of fire suppression brigades: the Special Fire Suppression Force, former Fire Tigers, the Red Arm Unit of Department of National Park, the Firehawk Special Force of RFD, the Army's Forest Fire Mission Support Task Force, and volunteers. During Northern Thailand, Upper ASEAN's fire season in January to April, there will be 7,500 personnel are available. Varieties of forest fire suppression equipments, and also different kinds of aerial water bombing supports. From Malaysia, we have some information that they have a bomba. It's a well-known bomba fire brigades, but Dr. Faiz stressed that we must focus in preventions, water collecting, and also the delivery. It's also important to depend on the situations. The budget allocation is important, the advanced technology utilization in fire. So there's some innovation from Malaysia. We appreciate for the one. And from Indonesia, we know that Indonesia established its fire brigade since 20 years ago. Now Manggala Agni is spreading in 34 local fire centers in 11 fire-prone provinces with almost 2,000 personnel. Ibu Fitria already shared the experience and knowledge as the frontliner in Ketapang, West Kalimantan. I hope we can have an opportunity to visit Bomba as well as Thai fire brigades to exchange experiences and knowledge to enhance ASEAN fire brigade capacity. I believe all our efforts in tackling land and forest fire in ASEAN will be our regional contribution to Paris agreements related to decreasing global temperature up to 1.5 degrees. For Indonesia itself, decreasing active fire as well as burn area will be significant contribution related to forest and other land use netting or follow netting 2030. We have reached the final session of this webinar. Thank you again for attending to this meeting. We encourage you to connect with us on social media. If you have additional questions, you can contact us by email or social media. We are happy to provide additional information. As scheduled, we will have a Kahoot quiz. This is especially for Indonesia, which will be guided by Ms. Dian and Mr. Nur. We apologize that this quiz only for Indonesian participants. So please, Ms. Dian and Mas Nur for the quiz.
Halo Sobat Iklim dari Sabang sampai Merauke. Saya punya hadiah ini. Ya, nggak usah berlama-lama, saya punya pantun. Ada gajah, ada semut. Ada semut, ada gajah. Ada kuis Kahoot, ayo ikut, yang menang dapat hadiah. Yeay. Kelihatan nggak ya? Ini nih, ya. Kita akan ambil 5 pemenang, masing-masing Rp100.000. Siapkan HP kalian semua ya Sobat Iklim. Nggak usah berlama-lama, yuk kita kuis Kahoot. Ya. Oke. Di sini ada bisa 3 cara, Sobat Iklim bisa ikutan kuis Kahoot. Yang pertama, masuk ke www.kahoot.it atau melalui aplikasi Kahoot, kemudian masukkan game PIN 5575683. Yang kedua, Sobat Iklim bisa melalui scan barcode yang tertayang di layar layar monitor itu, di-scan, kemudian masukkan nickname dan masukkan game PIN. Wah, sepertinya sudah familiar sekali ya dengan Kahoot ini. Luar biasa. Dan yang ketiga, Sobat Iklim juga bisa join ke Zoom yang sudah terkonek dengan Kahoot Games. Ya. Bisa ditutup scan barcode-nya. Saya mau lihat ada apa nih? Ada buaya darat. Buaya darat itu kayak lagu ya. Lelaki buaya darat. Gitu ya. Ada siapa lagi ini di bawah? Wah, Siti Nurbaya, waduh, ada Bu Menteri, mohon maaf Bu Menteri, aduh ada yang ngasih lope, ini siapa yang ngasih lope, elah, lope-lope sarangeo, ya. Ya, waktu kita hanya sebentar ya, saya hanya memberikan untuk 100 peserta pertama, wah, 100 peserta doang nih, masa ya, cepet. 75 orang, ayo cepet. Siapa lagi nih? Ada yang namanya siapa nih? Pebi, Pongi itu berarti si Pongi kali ya. Siapa? Buaya darat lagi. Aduh banyak kali nih buaya darat. Buaya laut ada enggak? Masa buaya darat semua sih? Septian, Ahmad Ghazali, 89 orang, 91. Sepertinya kalau udah 100 kita mulai aja kali ya, nggak usah lama-lama ya. Itu yang lope, mohon maaf bisa dihapus mungkin. Yang love bisa dihapus. Ya, udah 100 nih guys, udah 100 kita mulai ya. Masih mau lanjut nih. Ya udah 1 menit lagi, 1 menit. 1 menit. Terusin bedegong. Siapa ini bedegong? 5585683 ya, itu game PIN-nya. Ayo, siapa lagi? Saya kasih waktu 30 detik berarti ya, setengah menit lagi. Ayo yang di Zoom, yang di YouTube ikutan. Ya, aku punya uang. Aku punya uang. Udah kali ya? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kita mulai. Kuis webinar seri 3 pengendalian kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Nama Brigade Pengendali Kebakaran Hutan dan Lahan Malaysia adalah, ayo, merah bumba, biru bambu, kuning bomba, hijau boba. Boba itu kayak sirup boba itu. Kayak aus-aus gini enak nih minum sirup boba yang dingin-dingin gitu ya. Merah. Aduh, kok ini ada yang ngasih jawabannya? Bukan ya, belum tentu bener ya, belum tentu bener. Jangan terdistrak. Iya kan, salah kan? Bilangin juga. Ayo kita lihat siapa yang menang. Siapa yang menang? Yang jawab di chat, aduh, nggak bisa masuk ke itunya ya? Nggak bisa masuk ke Kahoot-nya ya? Nggak apa-apa. Next, kita lihat siapa yang menang. Ya, Andi YA. Oke, masih tenang, masih baru satu soal. Lanjut, gengs. Ya, pertanyaan kedua dari Tujuan. Red An adalah salah satu nama brigade pengendali kebakaran hutan dan lahan di negara, ayo, merah Thailand, biru Vietnam, kuning Korea, hijau Filipina. Ini mah gampang banget. Yang tadi dengerin pasti ngerti, pasti. Yang nggak dengerin, udah. Skip. Itu banyak yang ngebocorin itu kayaknya di chat. Aduh. Ya, Thailand ya, teman-teman, yang merah. Oke, next kita lihat siapa pemenangnya. Masih memimpin Andi Andi ya. Oke, lanjut. Pertanyaan ketiga. Double point kali 2. ITTO adalah singkatan dari, ayo. Merah, International Timber Tropical Organization, biru, International Tropical Timber Organization, yang kuning, International Timber Trade Organization, yang hijau, International Timber Trade Organization. Ayo, yang mana? Bingung ya? Sama, saya juga bingung. Yang mana coba? Ya, yang biru, International Tropical Timber Organization. Ayo kita lihat siapa yang bisa mengalahkan Andia. Andi turun. Dadah Andi. Verbina memimpin. Ayo semangat yang lainnya, pasti bisa menyusul. Masih ada 4 soal lagi. Lanjut, gengs. Soal keempat, Manggala Agni berasal dari bahasa Sanskerta yang artinya merah pemadam api, biru pejuang api, kuning satria api, dan hijau panglima api. Ayo, apa jawabannya? Biru, hijau, biru. Merah, hijau. Panglima Apo. Panglima api, pejuang api, pemadam api, satria api. Ya, jawabannya yang hijau ya, Sobat Iklim, Panglima Api. Next, kita lihat siapa yang mengalahkan Verbina. Ya, Inten naik, Inten. Ya, lanjut. Pertanyaan kelima, double point. Satwa yang ada pada lambang Manggala Agni di bawah ini adalah satwa, ayo, siapa itu? Merah bekantan, biru orangutan, kuning monyet, hijau kera. Ayo, siapa? Yang pasti bukan saya ya itu ya. Bukan saya, bukan. 4, 3, 2, 1. Jeng, orangutan. Next, masih ada pertanyaan. Siapa kan? Intan memimpin. Ayo yang lainnya terus kejar, jangan mau kalah. Ya, kita lanjut pertanyaan berikutnya. Pertanyaan ke-6. Berikut ini yang bukan merupakan upaya pencegahan kebakaran hutan dan lahan. Merah patroli, biru penyiapan lahan tanpa bakar, kuning kampanye, hijau pemadaman. Ini mah gampang. Bisa lah ya. Yo, 81 yang menjawab. Tambah terus 90. 3, 2, 1. Jeng. Yang hijau pemadaman ya, guys. Ya, kita lihat siapa yang bisa menyusul. Ya, Intan masih memimpin. Andia menyusul. Aduh, semakin ketat ini persaingan. Next, pertanyaan terakhir. 7 dari 7. True or false? Moderator dalam webinar hari ini adalah Dr. Israr Akbar. Benar apa enggak? Biru benar, merah salah. Aduh, kalau nggak tahu sama keterlaluan. Ayo dicontek. Di depan tadi siapa? Moderatornya siapa? Ayo, ada yang benar, ada yang salah. Kalian akan menyesal kalau tidak tahu. Ya, jawabannya salah, gengs. Yang benar adalah Dr. Israr Albar. Pakai L, bukan pakai K. Ya, siapa pemenangnya? Jeng. Juara 1, juara 3 dulu yang Durian Mateng. Wah, Durian Mateng ini duda keren, mampan, dan ganteng berarti ya. Juara 2, Indah Trinur S. Juara 1, Andia. Oh, ternyata Andi ya. Oke, Andi ya. Ya, yang keempat dan yang kelima adalah, oh ya, teman-teman yang mendapatkan ranking ini screenshot ya, hasilnya screenshot, kemudian dikirim ke DM ke Instagramnya Ditjen PPI, ditjenppi.klhk. Boleh tadi dilihat yang juara 4 dan 5. Jadi juara 1, 2, 3, 4, dan 5 kirim hasil screenshotnya ke akun Instagramnya ditjenppi.klhk atau bisa dikirim ke email setditjenppi@gmail.com. Ya, nanti ada di chat box-nya, bisa dilihat, maksudnya akun IG-nya dan akun emailnya. Jangan lupa ya, harus di screenshot dan dikirim ke akun Ditjen PPI KLHK Instagramnya. Ya, sekian kuis Kahoot hari ini. Kalau ada kesalahan mohon dimaafkan, kalau ada yang sayang mohon diungkapkan. Mohon undur diri, saya Dian Manggiasih. Cukup sekian dan terima kasih. Dadah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Dian, for interesting and attracting quiz. That for millennial generation, not for me or Dr. Chai, I think. Based on the completions, the winner for today's quiz is showing on the screens already. And please also mention the Instagram. Anyway, congratulations to all the winner. Now we come to the end of our webinar. On behalf of the organizer, I would like to say thank you for your active participations. See you in the next 4 webinar, which plan to be held on June 7, 2022, with more interesting topic entitled Development of Technology and Innovation in Supporting Fire Management. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Thanks for all.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chai. Thank you, Dr. Faiz.
Thank
We'll
you.
visit you later on. Real.